Back for more drafts here on DraftKings. I have 18 DraftKings Millionaire Maker drafts left. We're drafting out of the 11 slot in this one. I actually quite like drafting from the right side of the board. We're going to see what we are able to cook in the DraftKings Best Ball Millionaire Maker. Shout out to our friends over at DraftKings for sponsoring us here. You guys can sign up over there using code Mattek if you are not signed up already. Let's see what we can cook up here. I mean, look, this is probably going to, there's a chance that we get to do my favorite start in fantasy football, which is going to be the Justin Jefferson, Kenneth Walker start. Never mad, never upset, never disappointed about that one. I mean, hey, Christian McCaffrey is still there. I would be slamming the button for Christian McCaffrey in fantasy football right now. I feel like that's maybe like a little bit of an island position to be like in on Christian McCaffrey right now, but I am. So sue me. I am in on the best fantasy football player of like what, the last 8 years. It's been that one Cooper Kupp season, Michael Thomas and Christian McCaffrey and Tyreek Hill have basically been the best players in fantasy football over the last decade. And yet, no one wants Christian McCaffrey. All right, we will take CeeDee Lamb. Justin Jefferson goes at 9. Christian McCaffrey at 10 is objectively crazy. It really is, man. How are we taking James Cook over Christian McCaffrey? You can't justify it. I won't hear it. And then we'll do Barkley. So we have a CeeDee Lamb, Saquon Barkley start. Little bit of news and notes for us to go over. So we have Jonnu Smith signed a free agent contract, a 1-year contract with the Green Bay Packers, not the Miami Dolphins. So very good for Greg Dulcich. Smith reunited with Arthur Smith in Pittsburgh last year. He was useless. Basically, I would say this is actually probably pretty bullish for Tucker Kraft and pretty bearish for Luke Musgrave. And I would say it's also bullish for Jaden Reed. It's also bullish for Matthew Golden. I mean, it's most bullish for Jaden Reed because I don't think at this stage of his career, Jonnu Smith is a good enough player to force a team to go into base 12 personnel. He probably was never really that good. Cedric Tillman, waived by the Cleveland Browns. I could see him. I actually could see Cedric Tillman getting claimed by someone, maybe the Dolphins, maybe the Raiders. Feels like a very Las Vegas Raiders style claim. He was a 3rd-round pick 3 years ago in 2023. He had that great run after Amari Cooper was at like week 7, 8, and 9 of 2024. He was really, really good. Shout out to Cedric Tillman. Does this maybe make Isaiah Bond a smidgen more draftable? Sure. If you want to take Isaiah Bond around 20, that's fine. Relatively big news here. Colts activated Alec Pierce from the PUP list. He's been on the PUP list throughout training camp. Head coach Shane Steichen said earlier this week he expects Pierce to return to practice in full. It's going to be limited work. I would say there's now a decent chance that Alec Pierce plays week 1. So it make me want to draft Alec Pierce. Not really. But it's okay. It's okay. DK Metcalf restructured his contract, got some more money. Mike Evans, this is a real eye of the beholder quote. Mike Evans, ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, reports that he plans to play week 1. I mean, that is just not that bullish to me that he plans to play week 1. I have been steadily moving Mike Evans a little bit lower down my rankings, and I feel pretty comfortable with that decision. Vikings head coach said the goal is to have JJ McCarthy start this next preseason game. That's kind of interesting because maybe it means they would like to trade him. I mean, could they get a conditional 5th-round pick for JJ McCarthy? Definitely possible. Too early to tell if James Conner is able to play in week 1. Rest in peace. Sounds like it's no good. No good for James Conner. And I think the Kareem Hunt signing Kareem Hunt visiting the Detroit Lions probably means it's no good for James Conner to be traded to the Detroit Lions because they'll probably just sign Kareem Hunt instead. Isaiah Pacheco, by the way, back injury. I don't know, man. If you've been drafting Isaiah Pacheco, go with God, I guess. I don't know. No Isaiah Pacheco for me. Not interested. Coach Andy Reid said Kenneth Walker's shoe caused some swelling around his ankle, but he'll be fine. Josh Downs. 2 interesting quotes here on Josh Downs. The first being his calf injury is, quote, very minor. So not worried about Josh Downs with his calf injury. He said that he feels great. It's the best he's ever felt heading into a season. However, relatively bearish quote where he talked about he and Keenan Allen operating in the same sort of the field, so they're both going to be key parts of the offense and third down. I don't love that as a big Josh Downs drafter. Not going to move him too much in my rankings off the result of that, but I just maybe it's going to stop him from moving him up, I suppose. Luther Burden returned to a, quote, short, light practice yesterday, so I very much like to hear that. Now, Michael Penix Jr. still has not practiced, still is not going to be playing in any of these preseason games with his knee injury. However, Rap Sheet reported yesterday, Tua Tagovailoa's play has been so bad, it has become impossible to start him in week 1. So what are the Atlanta Falcons doing at quarterback? You guys might notice the number 2 pick in fantasy football and the number 21st overall pick in this draft are both Atlanta Falcons. Who's playing quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons? Is it going to be Tua, even though it's become impossible to play him? Is it going to be Michael Penix Jr.? Is he somehow going to be healthy enough? Or is it going to be this guy, Jack Strand? I don't know. Maybe it could be this guy, Jack Strand. It's making me pretty bearish on London, though. I'm not loving the whole London vibes, and it's definitely not making me bearish on Pitts. The Falcons do not. The Falcons have no quarterback, man. Maybe this Jack Strand guy is good. He looked pretty good in the preseason, so maybe this Jack Strand guy will be, the savior there. There was a quote going around yesterday. We are going to take not Josh Allen. We're going to take Zay Flowers. There's a quote going around yesterday from, I want to make sure I get this guy's name right, Nikki Jhabvala, Jhabvala, said that the Commanders' offensive line was inoperable during their joint practice with the Ravens. Let's do Garrett Wilson. Feels very nice. CeeDee Lamb, Saquon Barkley, Zay Flowers, Garrett Wilson. I should have just taken Luther Burden there. I'm kind of a coward, but I am starting to get a little bit worried about that situation, about the Commanders' offensive line situation, because I have this big JCM stance, and JCM needs a good offensive line. Who lasts longer as a starter, Tua or Deshaun Watson? Deshaun Watson, I think. Just realized I haven't been subscribed until now, even though I listen to you all day long at work. Hey, there we go. Thank you, Sam. And thank you for listening. And you keep up the grind as well, brother. I appreciate you. Hope you're having a great fantasy football season. So Lamb, Barkley, Flowers, Garrett Wilson. I do not draft too many teams like this, but no Javonte, no Kyron, no Breeze. Jeremiah Love's ADP seems to be correcting. GM. All right, we got some more news and notes to go through here, I'm sure. Alec Pierce running routes at camp. Some defensive tackle getting a big contract with the Seahawks. What else do we have here? Texans right tackle Braden Smith could miss a couple weeks. Tucker Kraft expected to be full go. I don't know about that one. He said like 3 weeks ago that he was going to be on a rep count, and now he's not. I have no idea. I have no idea what is going to happen with Ashton Jeanty because we have no good reporting. The Jeremiah Love correction seems to be that he's healthy. Not healthy, but like there was, there was the photo of him delivering 6 boxes of pizza yesterday, but also a more convincing video to me was there was a good video of him from the Arizona Cardinals training camp where he was working out barefoot. Like he was doing his mobility work barefoot, which if you've done any mobility work barefoot, you are asking a lot more of your ankle to be doing your mobility work barefoot versus in shoes. So I thought that was a fairly bullish situation. I just think Jeremiah Love in the 3rd round is, we were making this joke on ship chasing, but like that's like borrow money to enter more drafts if you can get Jeremiah Love at the 3-4 turn. There you go. Parker Washington at 51. Yes, it is indeed DraftKings week, so you need to be checking your app for promotions. They're doing it a little bit differently, but there should be some best ball related stuff in your app as targeted promotions for yourself. That is all that I know. Liam claims he was big into Terrence Ferguson before you. I would love to compare exposures. I took Terrence Ferguson at pick 172 in the very first fantasy football draft of the year. When I was streaming on, what was that, like January 22nd, I think it was, when the NFC Conference Championship was. I took Terrence Ferguson in the very first fantasy football draft of the year. So if Liam can go bag for bag on that, I am happy to go bag for bag with Liam on Terrence Ferguson. I don't think he's going to be able to match that one. I agree with Garrett Wilson. He's been a guy I've been trying to buy a little bit more because I am buying into the Geno stuff. Honest to God, I do think Charlie Collar ends up scoring the most points of the Chargers tight ends. I really do. Damn. All right. Well, Jadarian Price goes. That's a little bit unfortunate. I mean, I'm happy to take Lamar Jackson here if I get him. I'm also happy to take Quinshon Judkins. Yeah, we're going to take Lamar. And I actually think, all right, guys, hear me out on this one. Do you have Quinshon Judkins or Rhamondre Stevenson ranked higher? I could be convinced either direction. Which one? Do you have Quinshon Judkins or Rhamondre Stevenson above? I'm tempted to move Rhamondre up in my rankings. Now that we have like clear evidence that Henderson is injured, I mean, it might just be could be 25 touches week 1. You know what? I'm going to do it. No, I'm not. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Judkins. We have Lamar, Barkley, Judkins, CD, Flowers, Garrett Wilson. To me, that was just an ADP value thing. One Judkins. Judkins, no contest. It feels gross drafting Judkins that high. I've been drafting Rhamondre in the 70s. Yeah, the Browns are going to be bad. I don't know. I mean, I don't even really remember. Let's look at the Quinshon Judkins game logs. Quinshon Judkins last year missed week 1, only played 27% of the snaps in week 2, 55% of the snaps in week 3 against Green Bay. Finishes the running back 11. Running back 11 the next week on 59% of the snaps. Running back 20 the next week on 57. Then 40. Then 70% with a 26-point game against Miami. Then only played 33% of the snaps in a blowout loss against the Patriots. 52% of the snaps with 22 rushes against the Jets. 17 rushes. I mean, the thing is he just does not contribute that much in the passing game. I don't know, man. For a 6th-round pick, it's really not that bad. Like, honest to goodness, it's really not that bad. People are saying the face of the Flock League. They'd be wrong. They would be wrong, but they can say it. If you swap the Patriots-Browns running back room, Judkins goes 3-4 turn. I think Judkins on the Patriots, I think, goes at the 2-3 turn. I think I would take Judkins on the Patriots ahead of Derrick Henry. I have a long drive ahead. Where does the main event draft go? That is on the Mattek Fantasy Football channel. So all redraft content, rankings, sleepers, high stakes drafts, all that stuff. That is all over on the Mattek Fantasy Football channel. You can get it right there. 2 hours, almost 2 hours of fantasy football goodness over there. Check it out if you would like. 1.05 half-point PPR. My league is running back home rate, and CMC will most likely be gone. I would absolutely moonshot, grab, slam dunk, Vince Carter, hang on the rim, Puka Nacua there. I'm sorry, dude. If you are taking Jonathan Taylor over Puka or James Cook over Taylor, you are playing way too scared, brother. Way too scared. Puka is, I think people sort of forget, actually, how insane Puka is, man. This guy has an argument to maybe be the number one player in fantasy, I would say. I mean, look at these freaking results, dude. 23, 27, 22, 36, 24, injured against Baltimore, misses the game against Jacksonville. 22, 17, 14, 16, 13, 35, 27, 46, 15, 26. An insane fantasy football season. An all-timer fantasy football season. If you could only have one of those guys from that video to tag team a dream draft with you, who would it be? I mean, it'd be so hard to choose. Those 4 guys are some of my favorite people in the world, dude. I love those guys. I love Evan. I love JJ. I love Thorman. I love Reeves. Those are the best dudes. Hey, shout out to my dude Bassett, and shout out biggest Chris Rodriguez fan I know. My guy Senor Strong. All right. Would like to grab a running back here. Frankly, this next pick is probably going to be Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. I know I was just talking about being worried about their offensive line, but best available picks are all quarterbacks. Hate that. That's the thing about taking Lamar. Maybe I'll do a hit him with the gritty draft here. Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson be done with 2 quarterbacks. What do we think? Is this even really a big ADP value? It's not really. Yeah, so we're going to do Rico Dowdle as our running back 3. If Hurts comes back around, I'll take him. Is that because you won't admit knowing Buck St. Thomas? True. Fact check, true. You know what? We're going to do it. 2 quarterback team, Lamar and Hurts. Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, Quinshon Judkins, CeeDee Lamb, Zay Flowers, Garrett Wilson, Rico Dowdle, and Jalen Hurts. I've been a little bit more into Dowdle. Leone had this Twitter thread the other day. Let's go see if I can pull this up and bring his take about Rico Dowdle up. All right, here we go. I've not drafted many teams, but after diving back into a few things, there are 2 players I view as Sido free rolls at their prices. Rico Dowdle, expected fantasy points for running backs and Aaron Rodgers' offenses are always strong. Can't get out of my head that he is one of 5 players the last 5 seasons with multiple 200-plus scrimmage yard games alongside Bijan, Achane, Gibbs, and Cook, and he did it on a bad offense in limited starts. That's probably noise and evidence I'd normally make fun of, but it doesn't feel priced in at all that there's something there talent-wise. Positive camp buzz would take him ahead of Jalen Warren straight up. And I can't really refute those points. Those points are pretty accurate, and therefore I am Team Leone. I'm moving Dowdle up my rankings a little bit. Can definitely see my draft going Puka, AJ, or Nico, then picking up Hall in the 3rd. Love that. I mean, I think the 2nd round running backs are honestly very good in fantasy this year. Khalif Raymond. Why are we talking about Khalif Raymond, brother? You mean Xavier Thomas? I had not watched the week 1 waivers video in the Flock League, but because I'm in the chat, I already know what happens in the videos. Not that I won't watch it, but I do already know what happens because I get to see it all as it goes down. Rico's 200-yard games were against terrible Miami and Dallas defenses. Yeah, but it still doesn't matter. Like, a lot of guys got to play against Miami and Dallas and didn't have 200 yards. Chris Godwin is more appropriately priced on DraftKings than Underdog. I can buy that. If you had to make a bet that you would consider fair between people who can't agree on who the best Broncos back this year will be for best ball, what would you do to make it fair for each person? I mean, the Dobbins and Harvey ADPs are fairly close. Couldn't you? I guess you could do Harvey minus 120. Dobbins like slight dog, like, plus. I don't know, you could do plus 110, plus 120. You could just make it even that way. Or you could do like your $50 to your buddy's $40 that Harvey outscores Dobbins, or whichever way you want it. The discrepancy in average draft position is not that far. all you want in fantasy football are guys that feast on terrible defenses. Well, you'd also like guys who feast against good defenses. I do still have Jadarian Price ranked ahead of Rhamondre Stevenson. I actually have Jadarian Price ranked pretty aggressively in my rankings. I think that he's a very good pick. Jadarian Price, as we get a little bit closer to the start of the season, is probably going to end up being one of my bigger stances in fantasy football. I'm wanting to do him a lot in these managed leagues. Really enjoying the managed league streets, by the way. They've been quite fun. I took Dobbins and Jonah Coleman in redraft. I think Harvey stays in the pass catching role. So I've actually been thinking a lot about this. I don't think Rhamondre rising this high is too week one brained, because I think he probably is. Like, isn't he just going to be the starter? How does he get benched? Like, he's not. I don't think he is going to get benched. I would be very, 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 very surprised if he does. All right, we are about to be back up, and I'm going to take Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. We're drafting a weird team here. I don't think I've drafted very many teams like this on DraftKings at all. We're about to take Mekhi Lemon. We're going to get the stack. We are all in on the Eagles. So we have Lamar, Barkley, Judkins, CD, Zay Flowers, Garrett Wilson, Rico Dowdle, Jalen Hurts, JCM, and Mekhi Lemon. A 2-4-4-0. Don't let me take Eli Stowers in this draft. Whatever you do, do not let me take Eli Stowers. If I'm about to take Eli Stowers, you guys shut the stream off. Someone come to my house and turn the stream off. I can't do it. It's enough already, dude. Did you guys see this clip of Stowers? I'm sure you guys have all already seen this, but this guy, unplayable. If you guys have not seen this yet, this is one of the worst routes I've ever seen. This guy was a second-round pick, dude. Oh, look at the head fake. I mean, come on, dude. The thing is Stowers won't be low owned though, because he got drafted. He got drafted early so often. It is a redshirt year. Well, it's not unreal that he won the Mackey over Sadiq, because Kenyon Sadiq did nothing. You guys are hip. You guys know this. Kenyon Sadiq did zero production. Kenyon Sadiq was fourth on his team in receiving yards. Maybe even fifth, actually. Now, I still draft Sadiq, and I think he's got an interesting profile, but 1.67 yards per route run for Kenyon Sadiq. But he has the athletic tools. Well, I guess so does Stowers too. Yeah, it's time to learn Jamari Johnson. Yes, JCM always fits a nice little slappy build. All right, here you go. Kenyon Sadiq, 892 receiving yards and 11 touchdowns in college. 2025 for Oregon. He was second on the team in receiving yards. Malik Benson, who by the way is breaking out a little bit right now for the Raiders. So Kenyon Sadiq had 51 receptions for 560 yards. The second tight end on the team, Jamari Johnson, 32 receptions for 510 yards, 11 yards per reception for Sadiq, 510 or a 15.9 receiving yards per attempt. Receiving yards per reception for Jamari Johnson. I think Jamari Johnson probably is going to end up being a first round pick as well next year, which is pretty wild to think about. Two of those guys being on the depth chart together. Just very interesting. What does the front of my cap say? Honestly, let's find out together, Keaton, because I don't even remember which hat I'm wearing today is. This is a Buffalo Ridge golf course, which is a very nice golf course in, what is that, like southwestern Missouri. Very, 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 very nice golf course. If you're ever in the area, you should go play it. Thoughts on taking Marshawn Lloyd or Kalen Black? Well, Marshawn Lloyd is not really a final round draft pick anymore, but I love taking him. Yes, Branson, Missouri. All right. I'm going to have to figure this out at tight end here. Well, yeah, I mean, look, a lot of these teams now, what they do is they're the same as us. They want the tools. They want the guys with the crazy athleticism because they want to be able to mold them and shape them. Was I good at soccer? I mean, I stopped playing all collective athletics when I was 13 because I started skateboarding very seriously. But I mean, I would say of the sports I played at like a middle school level, soccer I was probably the best at, but that's just because I'm small. So it's hard to be really good at basketball, hard to be really good at football, I guess you could be good at baseball while being small. I didn't play baseball past like 5th grade, I don't think. I support Aston Villa in the English Premier League, and they're having a tough scene right now. All right, let's take a look at the queue here. God, well, I mean, do I want 4 Eagles though? Is that a bit much? 4 Eagles? It's probably. I mean, I am gonna take Goedert. Is Andrews here too? Do I just double tap the tight ends? Is there any chance that Andrews gets back around to me at 155? What do you guys think? Any chance he gets back around to me at 155? I guess what is my opportunity cost here? It would be Woody Marks or Keaton Missile at running back. It would be Debo or Shakir. There's not much opportunity cost. I'm going to take Goedert first. 0% he comes back. I do still golf, yes. Although during this time of the year, I am not able to play at all. Haven't swung a golf club in like 2 months. Way too busy. Which is a bummer because, man, do I love golf. All right, we're taking Mark Andrews. Do I take Mark Andrews or Lane? We're going to take Andrews. We're going to take Andrews. I can't. 12th round Jacoby Lane might be a bit much. So I got into Villa as my EPL team because my best friend, one of my best friends, is a Liverpool fan. And when I got into it, I didn't want to just choose, Arsenal, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, whatever. And Steven Gerrard was rumored to become the manager of Aston Villa. And so I said, okay, what I'll do is I will choose Aston Villa and we can have the connection that way. Now, Steven Gerrard was a terrible, terrible manager, but it ended up working out. If you were a noob to high-stakes redraft with a $500 budget, what site and contest would you recommend? I would recommend you do this contest. I would recommend you do the Big Gorilla $1 million first place, $5.8 million prize pool, $350 to enter, 3 teams for $1,000. Yeah, I would recommend this on ffpc.com. Pretty fun. People are very bad on the FFPC, so it's just easy to win. Someone asked if I played Tiger's Course in Branson. No, I played Buffalo Ridge, and I played Ozark National. We did not get to play Paynes Valley. I do have a nice Paynes Valley shirt, though. Am I 0% Gadsden? Tough click, obviously, but he goes late. So I'm 0% now. I don't take any of him now because I spent the last 7 months drafting him like he was the starting tight end for the Chargers. So if Gadsden ends up being the guy you need, then I will be perfectly well positioned, but I'm not going to add on into the pain of the bags that I already have. That much is for sure. co-own a league with my dad, and we had our draft last night. And end of the draft, I was telling him we really need to hope T. Ferg and Cyrus Allen fall. He had absolutely zero idea who either of them were. He is going to learn about one Mr. T. Ferg. In my mind, Jonnu Smith does not change anything for the Green Bay Packers. I don't believe there is any codes or deposit match for the FFPC. What they will do, though, is they will give you a discount for buying multiple teams. Gadsden or Stowers, pass. Oh, I didn't even know you could do Paynes Valley on the sim. My favorite golf courses to play on the sim. There's a sim place not that far away from my house. And when I play, I love to play. I mean, St. Andrews is great for a sim, and Pebble Beach are my favorite to do for the sim. Question on QBs. Most people in my league take 2. At what point would I take a quarterback? I would probably just hope to get one of Mahomes or Goff after everyone in your league has taken one. It would be what I would tell you to do if your league is going to be crazy. Do not say the name Colby Parkinson to me, bro. Do not come into my house and disrespect me. I mean, honestly, I do assume Juwan Johnson is heading towards going higher than Mark Andrews. The worst thing Jonnu can do is be just good enough to have LaFleur thinks he's worth like 35 targets. That's so true. It's so annoying. What do I think the biggest mistake the average person makes in a home league draft? That's actually a phenomenal question. It's probably they do hero running back or zero running back or modified hero running back in the wrong way, which is that if you have taken like 4 wide receivers in your first 6 picks, you still need to keep taking wide receivers because wide receiver has to be the strength of your team if you make that decision. So you need to build in some of your guys sucking. We are going to take... This is not great. What is happening in this range of the draft? We're going to take Tajay Spears. This range of the draft on DraftKings is just deader than dead. Tommy Fleetwood decides my pick in my home league. I was just watching a Tommy Fleetwood swinging video right before we started. That's small world. And now we are going to take... Do I want to take Keenan Allen? Do I want usable weak Keenan Allen? I think I do. I think I do want usable weak Keenan Allen here. A 2-5-5-2. What a strange build we are doing here. Very symmetrical. Yeah, I am also seeing Daniel Jones rise. I also moved Daniel Jones up in my rankings. The reports on Daniel Jones's health have been good. Something that I was doing with Daniel Jones was I was basically just giving him no credit to run at all, and I do think he probably will run a little bit based on the not as much as he did last year, but enough to buoy his more than Darnold or whatever. Had a home league draft last night. Quarterback and tight end went early. I'm starting Kyler and T. Ferg. Do I drop Mike Washington for Freiermuth? No, I would not do that. I think you're okay. To me, the biggest mistake folks in redraft do is worry about depth. Correct. Yes. There's absolutely no reason to have depth in redraft. Redraft is won by, frankly, it's kind of funny. Redraft is won by league winners. And don't get me wrong. I mean, best ball is also won by league winners, but you can kind of math your way around the edges in best ball drafts where you can make mediocre rosters more likely to advance. Much like basically impossible to do in a redraft because what do we always say, boys? There is no substitute for points. I would basically say nothing burger for me. Nothing burger for Jonnu. I'm not changing or adjusting anything. There's an underrated chance the Broncos consolidate snaps amongst the skilled guys. I'm press X to doubt that. Just when you think they're going to consolidate snaps, you are about to learn something new. You're about to learn a new player's name. You're like, wait, that guy's on the Broncos? Where did Where did Lil Jordan Humphrey come from? Where did Michael Bandy come from? Wait, Taysom Hill is on this team? This team has 2 fullbacks? Nate Adkins? That's your experience if you think the Broncos are consolidate snaps. Yeah. No, I think that chance is so low, Peter. I would start thinking about Bowers about pick 15 in redraft. In a 2-quarterback league with half the quarterbacks capped, do you bump a guy like that ahead of Jefferson, Cook, and Lamb? No. I think the skill position guys are just so important. The first round guys. It's crazy how important. Brother, you think I don't know about LA Confidential? I bet I was one of the first people to play that game. Wait, not LA Confidential. It was what was it? LA Noir, not LA Confidential, LA Noir. All-time game. Depth doesn't matter because you are not winning without go look at your league last year, Matt, and look at the team that won and look how shitty their flex starter probably was. You just need the league winners, man. It's redraft fantasy football is we spend so much time talking about it and thinking about it and doing waivers and blah, 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 all this stuff. And it comes down to, did you draft one of the 6 guys that matters in fantasy football or did you not? Because if you didn't draft one of the 6 guys that matters, you don't win. Oh, you didn't have CMC? Oh, you didn't have Olave? Oh, you didn't have JSN? Guess what? You lose, dude. You lose. Even if your other picks didn't get hurt, even if they were all fine, you still lose. It's just kind of how she goes, you know? No substitute for points. All right, we are about to be back up here. Braylon Allen I like here. Maybe I do take Geno. Maybe I do take a third quarterback. This range of the draft is so foul, dude. You know what? I'm cooking something here. I don't know what I'm cooking. Got Puka in the second. I mean, you get Puka in the second, you can do whatever you want. It's what we call a league winner. All right, and then I'm going to take Geno, and then with my next pick, I'm going to take Omar Cooper Jr. I have his second pick in a 10-man. Who do I take at the 2-3 turn? You take Jeremiah Love and Malik Neighbors. Exactly. Last year I won with Puka, and my team wasn't even that great. So here, this is a really funny one. So there's this contest that the FFPC does, and it is the it's called Pros versus Joes, and it's a big tournament where a bunch of high stakes guys all compete against each other. I finished 3rd in the entire tournament. Look how bad this team is. I did draft Josh Allen and Jared Goff. I had Amari and Hampton. Sucked. Injured. Tyler Algier, Dylan Sampson, Justice Hill, Miles Sanders. St. Brown, Rashee Rice. Injured. Suspended. Emeka Egbuka, Jameson Williams, Matthew Golden, Josh Palmer, Jalen Rose, Tyler Lockett, Colson Loveland, Mark Andrews, Hunter Henry, Kate Otten. But I had Christian McCaffrey. The team finished 3rd overall in the whole tournament. Again, not a good team, right? But it had St. Brown, who was good, and it had CMC, who was, basically one of the guys you absolutely had to have. It's not, though. It's not a good team. Hampton was a miss. Algier did nothing. Sampson did nothing. Justice Hill did nothing. Rashee Rice missed the sprint. Egbuka sucked down the stretch. J-Mo had 3 games with 0. Golden was a miss. Palmer was a 0. Royals was a 0. Lockett was a 0. Andrews was a 0. Kate Otten was functionally a 0. Again, it was a fine team, but you don't look at that team and go, wow, this guy had every league winner. Sometimes that's just how she goes. Talking about redraft, isn't Spears better than Bigsby in a shallow redraft league that allows trades because of the potential value early swing in the season? I mean, I can't see into the future, but if Saquon Barkley gets injured, obviously you would want Bigsby. The thing about a shallow league is that Tajay Spears is just not even a startable player. Tajay Spears last year, how many times did he top double-digit PPR points? He had 17 in week 8, and he had 21 in week 16. But that means you're starting him for a lot of 9 point, 7 point, 9.2, 8.4, 8.4, 6.7. In 2024, he finished running back 27 once, running back 24, running back 3, I actually kind of forgot that incredible postseason performance from Tajay Spears. I won a league last year with none of those guys and also got second in another with Cook, A-Chain, and Puka. Yeah, so you are exactly proving my point. Cook, A-Chain, and Puka were all huge hits. Cook and Puka basically 2 of the 5 biggest hits in fantasy football. A-Chain was a good, he didn't like super smash. But yeah, you are wrong, or you are interpreting what I'm saying wrong. All right. Is Omar Cooper Jr. available? Omar Cooper Jr. got picked, so the thing I'm cooking is now not happening. I definitely need a wide receiver. Could do Branch. Could do Ted Hurst. Ooh, could take, you know what? I'm going to take Freiermuth as my tight end 3. Oh, tight end 4. Well, this was a 4 tight end team anyway. I think Sharps is going to be back in like late October, early November. The beat writers have disagreed with me on that one, but this dude had ACL surgery in February, so I don't know. Is Kalen Black available? Kalen Black is gone. So we are going to take Ted Hurst, giving us a team of Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, Quinshon Judkins, CeeDee Lamb, Zay Flowers, Garrett Wilson, Dallas Goedert, Rico Dowdle, Jalen Hurts, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Mekhi Lemon, Mark Andrews, Tajay Spears, Keenan Allen, Kenyon Sadiq, Geno Smith, Pat Freiermuth, Ted Hurst. 2 more picks to make here. Who wins if Igbukah deals with turf toe all year? It's definitely Godwin. And Ted Hurst also wins too. One of the things I'll be interested in monitoring if Sharps makes Helani a 0 or if Helani's just better. George Helani is a 0, brother. George Helani is a 0 right now. Helani is dude, he's out here playing in the second quarter with Drew Lock. My title tonight is going to be Flock League Attendees Friend Drafts. That's my guy. That's my guy, Liam. Respect my goat, Liam Murphy. Helani is better than Sharps. Whoa, what are we smoking? You sure about that, brother? George Helani's been in the NFL for 2 seasons. He's got 4.2 PPR points, 9.1, and 1 and 0.9. I'm gonna go ahead and guess he's not better. Did I notice during the draft? Yeah, we argued about Kenneth Walker for like 10 minutes after that pick. Carson Steele is making a decent argument to make the to make the running back 3 job for the Philadelphia Eagles. GM Dwayne Scott, appreciate you. All right. How am I going to finish this one? You guys taking Jordan James? I actually have been taking some round Jordan James. Did I have any good teams in the underdog EPL drafts last week? I sure did. I have some very good teams, actually. He did hurdle someone the other day. Okay. All right. We do not no Halani boys in the chat. By the way, we are about to do something for the very first time on this channel. We're about to do a best ball portfolio review here on the show, which people who subscribe to the best ball tools over at flockfantasy.com and they sign up with code Davis, you get a best ball portfolio review, which I'm very excited for this. Is Mooney draftable with the Giants wide receiver injuries? I mean, probably. I don't really take him, but it's fine. I you know, how bad can it be, right? All right, what's our roster construction here? We have 3 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 6 wide receivers. So definitely going to take Jeremy with one of these picks. And then it is, Singleton's still there. And Katron. Both would be a Hancock situation. I do not do very many of the 4 running back teams. My argument for Halani is he might be a better pass blocker. Except that's what Sharps does. Sharps is already a pass blocker. So I would be surprised if Halani's better at it because they could have just used Halani that way last year, and they didn't. They used Sharps. Brother, Liam, I know that you're acting out because you're scared. We're gonna do Katron. That's a brand new Hancock. Liam, I know that you are scared about Charlie Collar, man. You can admit it. You're amongst friends. No one's gonna get mad at you, but you can admit that you're scared, dude. Okay? You can say, hey, I didn't realize this was gonna happen. I didn't realize Charlie Collar was going to come and find me, but he's coming and he's going to find you. All right, let's do, we're definitely taking Jeremy. Yeah, there we go. All right, this is a shipper. Yeah, Collar does stink. That's true. He does stink. Do I have my Yeti can cooler yet? I do not. Going to be doing any 2027 draft prospect videos? Yes, on the Dynasty Mattek channel for sure. All right, Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, Quinshon Judkins, CeeDee Lamb, Zay Flowers, Garrett Wilson, Dallas Goedert, Rico Dowdle, Jalen Hurts, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, Mekhi Lemon, Mark Andrews, Tajay Spears, Keenan Allen, Kenyon Sadiq, Geno Smith, Pat Freiermuth, Ted Hurst, Katron Allen, and Jeremy Bernard. We are now going to do our best ball portfolio review, except, no, we're not. No, we're not, because All Elite Hooper submitted a best ball portfolio review, but has not imported any of his drafts. So that's a tough scene. A-Light Hooper, here's the deal. If you want me to do your best ball portfolio review, you got to import some teams, brother. I'll send you a message. We will get this taken care of. All right. Well, that goes for all of you. If you want a best ball portfolio review, you need to import some teams or I'm not going to be able to see them. All right, let's go hop into another one. Let's go back into the lobby. Preseason games tonight, by the way. Lock in. I think we get to see Adrian Martinez play tonight. Am I buying the Bateman training camp buzz? I've never heard. I've never heard such a thing. Liam, the people are saying that you were saying that you were on T-Ferg before me. Is that true? Man, Drew Aller. Okay, I gotta say, the one Drew Aller click yesterday, or the one Drew Aller throw that I saw, unbelievable. No idea if Drew Aller's any good. In fact, he probably isn't, but man, that preseason throw was really good. Any preseason picks tonight? I just have not looked yet. Okay, Mr. Russell is saying that Liam never said it. Okay. We think Bateman is one of the best round 18 clicks right now. I mean, he's probably good. I don't think he's terrible. I like Tyquan a little bit more than him, but Lamar is good. All right, we are drafting out of the 1.9 in this time with the Spungos, M. Fonte, EDL Ware, Human Centipede, classic DraftKings name. iClub Baby Seals, rude. We want to be kind to Seals, brother. C-Style 55, Champ 712, Bob the Builder 94, D-Martyr 1987, Tech, Tonics, and Bayou 24. Bateman, I think, didn't get arrested, though. Like, I think this Bateman legal thing is going to end up not being, like, it's not going to end up being a big deal. Like, it sounds like it's one of those things that is not going to end up being, adjudicated will be adjudicated. For some reason, Drew Aller has a line in some books of over under 1.5 starts this season. Would he start over Howard if Rodgers went down? Seems like a weird line to have available right now. I mean, I guess I would assume that Aller would start just because Howard has been on the team longer, but I don't know. He definitely said it on his last stream. I mentioned T-Ferg before Davis started shouting about it. I mean, that is classic Liam. That's classic Liam. My wife bought my son a seal for his bath time fun, and I named it Slappy. That's so good. I bought a book for my son that was called Sam the Seal, something like that. It's really good. Bateman was arrested. The mother of his child recanted certain accusations. Yeah, I mean, it definitely sounds very, very messy. Not a fan of that. Any roster competitions you're looking at in the last wave of the preseason games? 49ers backup running back. Cardinals third running back, maybe. Cowboys backup running back, like is Jaden Blue playing in the third preseason game? That would be some of them. What's the best tournament placing you got? Finished like 117th in the big board last year. What is a player you like for best ball but dislike for redraft? Easiest one in the book, Travis Hunter. All right, here we go, man. James Cook. I never take James Cook. There's a James Cook click. I know Davis and Liam more than my own family. I mean, sadly, I know more about like Jamar Chase's knee than I know about things going on in my own life. It's that time of year, man. It really is. All right. Wow, James Cook at the turn. Is the price of the brick going up for Chase Brown? Why do I never take James Cook? I'm not really buying the passing game usage, and he just ran really hot on touchdowns last year. I mean, not that I have like whatever 6% of him. You got to tell me, why are you trying to claim T-Ferg on the internet, dude? Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, there you go. You're on now.
I'm out and about, but I thought I'd say hi.
People are coming. People are rushing in to tell me that you're trying to claim Terrence Ferguson.
Everyone knows what happened is you watched the May stream of mine. You saw the T-Ferg, hype, and then you ran with it. And I don't blame you, Davis. I don't blame you. Whoever's loud.
I drafted Terrence Ferguson, and I looked it up yesterday. My big board, my very first big board, I drafted Terrence Ferguson.
No one counts big board, guy. That's little money. We're talking about who can win the big tournaments, Davis. Not what's the big board? $50 in a handshake to first.
$200,000. Guess my raw dollar number amount of exposure to Terrence Ferguson.
$5,500.
$4,895 of Terrence Ferguson.
Get that up, son. Get that up. Rip a 555. You gotta up that.
Maybe I will rip a 555.
Did you see me post the gym photo? Did you get a chuckle out of that?
I did. I don't remember what I was doing, but I saw Cody Main little boy you though.
I knew that Cody, like that's like dropping a piece of blood in water to a shark. I knew I didn't even have to tag Cody. I just knew he'd get in there. I'm a little surprised Rudman didn't. He's probably off the timeline.
Rudman's like he's like too jacked. Rudman he's like too jacked to even respond to that. He's like I don't even have time for this, dude.
I posted the little weights too because I knew that would get the like really, dude, dumbbells.
Wait, so did you actually set up a home gym?
No, I live in an apartment complex. That's like the apartment gym. That's not like my personal gym.
We got to get you. Okay, here's the deal, Liam. We got to get you on the flat bench, dude. We got to get you benching 225.
Brother, my wingspan is 6'4". If I'm benching 225, I am like more brolic than DK Metcalf.
This is like the Kevin Durant argument. Like Kevin Durant could never bench 225, and he said it was because his arms were too long.
Yeah, I'm like 6 foot, but I got a 6'4" wingspan. Like this, it takes a lot to get that bar up. I'm benching 135 on a good day for a couple reps. Although I'm fatter now, so maybe I'm stronger.
Yeah, I was gonna say you might have a little bit of some people put on winter weight, but us fantasy football analysts, we put on August weight because there's no time to do any walking.
I mean, I walked around like 150, 155 my whole life, and I'm probably like 175 now. Not muscle. You're probably just a beer gut.
You're probably way stronger now, bro. Hey, I have James Cook on this team, Liam.
Yeah, dude, Dowdle. Get clear. I know a player you're quaking in your boots about. DJ Moore. That dude is going to give the blade to the faders.
I've never slept sounder at night in my life than knowing the guy I was fading is DJ Moore.
You know the SpongeBob meme where Squidward is like looking outside and like Patrick and SpongeBob are having fun?
I do.
That's going to be you this best ball season when DJ Moore is just like, okay, this week, Liam Post, 60% advance rate player, DJ Moore. And you're outside looking in like, I had everything right. Just this one guy. This one guy's giving me the blade.
No, I saved myself with that with Parker Washington. So I'm gonna be okay because I capitulated on P-Wash.
Dude, Steve Smith, man, I listened to it today. He's into the DJ Moore thing. You know more about wide receivers than Steve Smith?
Yeah, no, I do. Steve Smith's wide receiver prospect rankings are terrible.
He knew Jerry Jeudy was ass. Look at him.
He did. Well, shout out to him. I mean, I think a lot of us knew that Jerry Jeudy was ass, though. To be fair, but that is true. All
right, that does it for Street Reporting Murphy edition. Davis is getting big. He just got people calling in from random streets. I'm getting a smoothie, so see you guys later.
Later, dude.
Bye, Dave.
There you go. Chess Liam clocking in on a team that I took James Cook and got Jeremiah Love at round 3. James Cook, Amari Hampton, Jeremiah Love is quite the start. Dude takes J Love over every other player after him. That is when you select a player, that is what that means, yes. I just want you guys to see what on aggregate top 5 running backs have done. We're going to pull up. God, this is so annoying. I always get logged into the wrong sports reference account and I have to re-sign in, and it's very obnoxious. Because it's very annoying because I sign in with Google and then also my Gmail has an account, so it's a little annoying. But we are going to do the aggregate return, PPR fantasy points per game, running back, biographical filter, year of player's career, first year. And then we are going to do draft status, drafted picks 1 through 10. And then you guys tell me if it seems like a fun time to fade these players. Well, let's make it a little bit more recent. We'll do 25 to 2010. 24 points per game, 21 points per game, 17 points per game, 16 points per game, 16 points per game, 14 points per game, 14 points per game, 14 points per game. I don't remember that CJ Spiller bust year at all. Maybe that's just me. Maybe he's the CJ Spiller level bust. I doubt it though. I doubt it. You're locking, like, you're basically getting 14 or 15 points per game as the floor, in my opinion. Do we want to do the Dipperino and McLaurin here? Yeah, you know what? It's a fair price on Terry McLaurin. I think I do have about 25% burden, yeah. I keep jamming J Love, but it's dumb. People are worried about him and not Jeanty as much. Yeah, I mean, I'm more worried about Jeanty just because he got injured closer to the season. How does a guy from Wisconsin get a job in sports betting, best ball world? Don't get a job. Do your own job. Create an Instagram account, create a TikTok, create a YouTube, start making your own content. Now that our lives are dominated by algorithms and not by RSS feeds, you do not need anyone to give you a job. If you want to make content, start making it. Start today. Go make an Instagram reel of your 3 favorite picks in fantasy football right now. If the content is good, people will find it. Damn, I was actually going to take Rhamondre. Do I want to take Brooks? I'm going to take Marv. I'm going to do a little bit of Jacob Sanderson here and take Marv. All Ohio State wide receivers: Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin, Marvin Harrison Jr. I would take Achane or Cook with Bowers, but securing wide receivers 1. Running back 2 will be tough. That is true. I agree with this. You cannot click Jeanty until you see him on video carrying pizza boxes. That's true. But seriously, look at this list, dude. Let's CJ Spiller rookie. What was it? Fred Jackson, who was the other running back there, right? Fred Jackson. Am I remembering that correctly? Yeah, dude, look at that. I'm such a ball knower. Fred Jackson and Marshawn Lynch. So CJ Spiller split touches with Fred Jackson. Fred Jackson had 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns. CJ Spiller, 440 yards and 1 touchdown. It was a different time in the NFL back then. But yeah. Whoa. Reload the draft board. I want to be on the back end of the platform. Well, these sites post job, these sites do job postings all the time for things like that, Lil Dodger. I see all these sports media companies post, oh, we need a short form video editor. We need a full stack dev. We need a HR I see that all the time. Have you done a list of the guys you think have the highest ADP moves? I did a video on the Mattek Fantasy Football channel with Hayden Winks where we projected the first round for next year in fantasy football. There you go. BDGE is hiring. How many running backs were selected in the first round during that 50-year run and smashed? I mean, a lot, right? Let's just make it first round entirely. So picks 1 through 32. Oh, of course. Do you remember the quote going to sophomore year from the coach about Spiller getting the ball until he pukes? Buddy, yes, I do, because I remember it wasn't throws up. I remember it was pukes. The last 9 running backs drafted in the top 12 of the NFL draft averaged 1,456 yards and 9 touchdowns. Brother, Nippy, I was in the Flock League video. Are you not paying attention? I'm in like the 3rd frame of the Flock League video. Put some respect on my name, Nippy. If you had to pick between Jeremiah Love in the first round or T. Ferg in the last round, I would take T. Ferg in the last round. Jeremiah Love is not a first-round pick. 3rd-round pick. All right, this is every running back in the first round since 2010. There have only been, 1, 2, 3. There's only been 5 guys who scored less than 10 points per game. More guys have scored 14 points per game than less. I don't know, man. I feel like Price and Love are just being discounted. I've gone back and watched a bunch of the Flock League stuff from years prior, yeah. All right. I need a wide receiver here. Oh, actually, I'm just going to take Daniels and do the stack. Oh, and then I can take Diggs. I can get the double. That is PPR scoring. It's weird that Brandon Ayuk has been so quiet. No, nothing is happening, bro. I drafted some Brandon Ayuk, so I'd prefer those to not be absolute stone zeros, but they're absolute stone zeros. Brandon Ayuk, I would be stunned if Brandon Ayuk plays football this year. What would my strategy be in a 14-team kicker and defense league with no double flex? Just absolutely need to get a running back with one of your first 2 picks would be my primary solution. Do I take Metcalf or do I do the double here? I am kind of worried about this offensive line. Price is finally rising a little bit. Yeah, you know what? Let's do the double. Let's get Diggs. Jaden Daniels, James Cook, Amarian Hampton, Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin, Marvin Harrison, Jeremiah Love, and Stephon Diggs, a 1-3-4-0 build, which I feel pretty good about. I'm trying to remember some of these seasons. Frankly, I don't remember Najee scoring 17 points per game. I also don't remember Fournette scoring 17 points per game. I do remember that Doug Martin season. David Wilson, that was a bummer. And then the Rashad Penny was a huge bust season as well. I remember that one very well. My latest take on Emmett Johnson, it's so hard for me to think that frankly, I just don't really know what to expect. I mean, that's the real answer is that I don't know what to expect. I think DeMercado will probably be the 3rd down back, but I think Emmett Johnson's probably the handcuff. And I think Brashard Smith will probably play a little bit. How would I rank Kelsey, Kincaid, Juwan this year? I would rank them in that way. No, I don't think that Tucker Kraft's value is hurt significantly. Did Rome tell you why he picked Aubrey in the 9th? He sure did. He sure did. I was sitting right next to Rome for the Flock League draft. I was on the couch with Rome, Bush, or sorry, no. I was on the couch with Rome, Danny, and Sammy. Salute to my dude Chris Carson, who kept Penny off the field. Salute to, in one of my high-stakes dynasty leagues that I do with Michael Leone, we traded Chris Carson for Mark Andrews the year that Chris Carson medically retired. Rashad Penny was okay in college. He was like, he went to, where'd he go? San Diego State University, I believe, the Aztecs. Look at that. Ball knower, San Diego State. I actually don't remember. His final season was freaking absurd, but he was just not much of a pass catcher. Different times. But yeah, I mean, that is an absurd final season. Yeah. 2,000 yard season, 23 touchdowns, 25 touchdowns. Yeah, it's true. Rashad Penny did win Chesley in Best Ball Mania. I'm swinging big on kicker and defense, so I don't have to deal with waivers. That would not be my advice. I think in a 14-team league, that is not good advice. But don't listen to me, man. What do I know? Very little, truly. I don't know very much. All right. We are going to do... JCM is like way too much. I don't need to be stacking that high. God, but JCM is so much better of a pick than Gainwell, Hubbard, Monangai, and Rachaad White. Like, so much better. I am just going to take him, whatever. Absolutely all in on the Commanders, I guess. They're leaving me no choice. JCM versus Gainwell is not close. All due respect to the Kenny Gainwell drafters. That is not close, dude. Kenny Gainwell. What does my quant have Kenny Gainwell for? I have not. This is a projection I have not looked up yet. Kenny Gainwell for 118 rushes. There's no chance he has 5 rushing touchdowns. No world. The receiving line I do buy. No chance. 0. Does he have 5 rushing touchdowns in his career? He doesn't. There's got to be no way. Kenneth Gainwell has been in the NFL for 4 seasons. Okay, he has 17 rushing touchdowns. 17 is crazy. Wide receiver. Worthy. I should have taken Kittle there, actually. That was a bad pick. Should have taken Kittle. Sounds like Sean Tucker might get cut. Arroyo is being drafted a little bit, yeah. I'll probably do one more, Kevin. Yeah, I think I probably will. And then I'm gonna be on with Crane a little bit later. I'm gonna be on with Crane at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. No, I said Xavier Worthy was a bad pick in the sense that I should have just taken George Kittle on this team. Yeah, I made a mistake. I wasn't. Sometimes when I do these drafts, I just end up clicking too quickly. I'm actually floored by how shitty this Bucky projection is. I would be higher on the Bucky projection than this, I think, if I was doing it. Which I did. I built a whole sheet to do projections and ended up not finalizing them. It's a good question, honestly. What is the deal with the Bucs and not liking Sean Tucker? Guy's good. He is a good running back. Sean Tucker would have been drafted much higher in the NFL draft had he not. He had a heart issue, which caused him coming out of Syracuse. All right, I'm going to check Zane's timeline and see if we have anything super useful here. See if he picked up on any notes that I have missed. Juwan Johnson, good chemistry with Tyler Shuck. Saints beat writers are high on Juwan Johnson. Dejon Stribling, the San Francisco 49ers beat writers are matching what the coaches are saying about Stribling being valued really high. 49ers believe Kalen Black displayed a more versatile capability in terms of being able to play on the passing downs. Makes sense to me. Cardinals joint practice target distributions continue to lead me down the path that Michael Wilson will have more targets than Marvin Harrison Jr. That I think I probably believe. Yeah, there was a weird thing yesterday where Neighbors left practice early, and then Harbaugh said he wasn't injured, but that he hadn't talked to the trainers yet, so he might be injured. I don't know. If Bucky doesn't touch the ball within the 5 and Tucker might get cut, I got Gainwell over 5. Yeah, but why does it make sense to use Kenny Gainwell as a goal line back and not Bucky? How much does Kenneth Gainwell weigh? Kenneth Gainwell. Is Gainwell yeah, Kenneth Gainwell's listed at 200 and Bucky's listed at what, 190? Yeah, 195. They're like the same guy. All right, well, all the tight ends are getting torn from beneath me. I'm going to take Juwan here and then try and push Tyler Shuck around the turn and get that stack. Yeah, Kenneth Gainwell was at the most absurd. The 2018 Memphis Tigers had 6 NFL running backs on their roster. Probably the only team in the history of college football, the 2018 Memphis Grizzlies. The most absurd, sorry, not the Memphis Grizzlies, the Memphis Tigers. Probably the most absurd. Shuck went immediately the pick after, so not going to happen. And Malik Willis went and Daniel Jones went, so I'm running out of quarterbacks. So I might need to take, oh, God, all right, this is going to be a 3-quarterback team. I'm not doing this. I can take the missile here. I can take Jacoby Myers, or I could take, I'm not taking Chig. That's too many. It's too much of a stack. We'll take Mike Washington Jr. Sure. Buy the top on Mike Washington Jr. Pick 136. 2008 Memphis Tigers had Darrell Henderson, Patrick Taylor Jr., Tony Pollard. They had Kenny Gainwell, and they had Antonio Gibson. 5 guys. So Antonio Gibson, NFL running back. They had Kenny Gainwell, NFL running back. They had Tony Pollard, NFL running back. Patrick Taylor Jr., NFL running back. Darrell Henderson, NFL running back. Yes, obviously the Grizzlies or the Tigers are not the Miami Hurricanes, but that's the most absurd backfield of all time in terms of future NFL production. Why is Mahomes dropping so much when projected to start week 1? Because there is a literacy crisis in America, Nippy. There has never been, I've never been more sure that there is a literacy crisis in the United States of America. Like Mahomes in his life, I know people, people are so sick of this. They don't want to hear this from me. But all Mahomes has ever done is finish as the quarterback 4, quarterback 11, quarterback 8, quarterback 1, quarterback 3, quarterback 4, quarterback 7, quarterback 1. Right? He skipped, he played 1 fewer game, 20 points per game, 17 points per game, 17, 24, 21, 24, 20. I'm sorry, dude. I'm not buying this idea that, but he's hurt. Oh, Mahomes, he's not going to run. Oh, Mahomes isn't going to run. Can't draft Patrick Mahomes. Frankly, I think it's embarrassing. Adam Randall is the only converted wide receiver who I'm keeping a light on. I'm keeping a light on for him this year. I think I might even have Gold. I think in my redraft stuff, I actually do just straight up have Matthew Golden over Jaden Reed. Certainly that is the way I would target them at their current prices. I tried to argue yesterday that I would prefer Matthew Golden straight up over Jaden Reed and also versus Juwan Johnson as well. Or sorry, Christian Watson. I don't know why I said Juwan Johnson. All right, I just got it. Frick, man. I'm screwed here, dude. All right, I guess Denzel Boston's actually fine here. I don't want to take Chig. I don't need a 5th commander. Dude, you can't draft Mahomes. Remember that time he ran for 50 passing touchdowns? It's just people think the wide receivers are bad and they're not great, but I guess probably the biggest difference between me and the market is that I think there's a relatively strong chance that Worthy is able to play better when he doesn't have a torn labrum. I don't think Jacob didn't want to take. He would not want to take DK Metcalf over Carnell Tate. I don't think so. He did want to take DK. He did want to take DK Metcalf over Josh Downs though, which I thought was absurd. All right, I got to take a quarterback. I don't really want to take Cam Ward. I have 2 Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to take Jacoby Brissett, and then hopefully going to get Geno Smith coming back around, and then we're just going to have to figure it out at tight end. Thoughts on AJ Dillon as a late round flyer? He just needs 1 injury. He needs more. He probably needs 3 injuries. He would need Brooks to get hurt. He would need Hubbard to get hurt, and he would need Travis Etienne to be a 3rd down back only. Whenever someone says Mahomes isn't a good pick, I just replay the 360 behind the head TD flip. He's just so good, man. I'll keep touting the man. Isaiah Likely is too slept on. Brother, I couldn't disagree with the take anymore. I know Matthew Berry agrees with you. This is who's too slept on. 4.4 points per game, 7.7 points per game, 5.9, 5.71. This is the 12th tight end off the board. If everyone got Men in Black memory erased and woke up to the current news landscape, where's Neighbors ADP set? The 1-2 turn. He goes ahead of AJ Brown. Yeah, he goes ahead of AJ Brown, in my opinion. Where is Downs playing with Keenan and Warren, though? Same position he always plays. I think Keenan's only going to play in 11 personnel. I think Downs is going to play in 12. Sounds like Bucky is back to being fully healthy. What are the splits without Andrews? They're not as good as you think. I can look that up using the RotoViz. What is it? The Game Splits app, I think. I should be able to look this up. Theo Johnson might be too slept on. Theo Johnson is going to play more snaps than Isaiah Likely. No one wants to admit it, but that's going to happen. All right, Likely. See, I wish I could do Likely with Andrews just off the field, but I don't have access. I actually think, by the way, I'm going to spend $1,000 of my own money and buy the True Media advanced stats stuff. 9 games in his career, 3.4 receptions per game, 5.2 targets, 50 yards, but he spiked 0.67 touchdowns per game. Just going to go ahead. I would go ahead and doubt that Isaiah Likely will be able to maintain that touchdown production on this version of the New York Giants. It's totally possible. Do I ever do rate my team stuff? Yeah, so if you are a flockfantasy.com subscriber and you click on the advice tab, I was going to do one for this guy, a light hooper, but he didn't have his portfolio submitted, but you can submit all your stuff here using the personal advice tab, and anyone who signs up on flockfantasy.com with code Davis gets a free voucher to get whatever they want answered. I'm gonna do Kenyon Sadiq again, and then we are gonna take Geno Smith at the next pick. Besh is a better target to me than Trey Tucker and Naylor. Definitely better than Naylor. The Naylor price doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I do like Trey Tucker, though. I think Trey Tucker is fine where he goes. I'm not bending over backwards to draft him. It'd be really annoying if I got sniped on Geno Smith, which is not a sentence that's ever that fun to say. What would you put Daniel Jones' bench risk at this season? He gets benched for Riley Leonard. Pretty low. They were such a good team with him last year. Like I don't think Daniel Jones is that good, but the bench risk was just I don't think the bench risk is that high though. I don't. All right. Let me get Geno Smith here. Alvin Kamara is still going, huh? Injured Alvin Kamara. Should Keenan be going ahead of Wicks? Probably on full PPR DraftKings, yeah. All right. And now we get Geno. So we now have Jaden Daniels, James Cook, Amari Hampton, Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin, Marvin Harrison Jr., Juwan Johnson, Jeremiah Love, Stephon Diggs, Corey Krosky-Merritt, Xavier Worthy, Mike Washington, Denzel Boston, Jacoby Brissett, Kenyon Sadiq, and Geno Smith. A 3-5-6-2. Loving that. The problem with benching Daniel Jones is what you replace him with. I mean, that's basically the case of all teams. Who would I stash? Jaden Blue, Malik Davis, or Trey Benson? I would stash Malik Davis, Chris. I've been converted to Malik Davis. I almost said Malik Willis. Who is the player you are most worried could bury you this year? I mean, it's these round 5 receivers because I like the running backs so much. So it is Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, and DJ Moore. I guess DJ Moore is not a round 5 pick on DraftKings. But yeah, it's Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, and DJ Moore. Just these old veteran receivers. They are so not my style of guy. I just very rarely draft players. Very rarely draft players like that who are on the downside of their career. Do I think Malik Willis plays the whole year? I mean, I'd probably be a little bit surprised if they're a 2-win team and Malik Willis never gets benched. But also, I think this is one where I've been in big disagreement with Crane and Sacrilegious and those guys. Like, I just think his floor from the rushing and his potential ceiling is definitely worth taking him where he goes. Where do I like Jeanty in redraft? Like late second, mid second. I like. The thing is Jeanty combos now become so interesting. Yeah, I play a lot of DFS on DraftKings. Do a couple weekly DFS shows here on this channel. DFS, I mean, I really got my start in content doing daily fantasy sports stuff. All right, what are we going to do here? This is also going to be another 4 tight end team. I just might end up taking like Rardon or whatever at the end. Oscar Delp. Yeah, because all the good tight ends are gone. Where did Terrence Ferguson go in this draft? T. Ferg went at pick 139. It's a strange new world out there, man. You just cannot get Terrence Ferguson. We're all trying to find the guy who did this, right? All right. Let's do. I can probably save it a wide receiver. Helm could be okay here. Oh, Freiermuth is even gone, huh? Can't even get Freiermuth. All right, yeah. Let's do it. Let's take Kalar. And then one more wide receiver, probably at least. I think the Dolphins can be surprising. Not a horrible team if one of the pass catchers can be good. I don't know about that, brother. Michael Parker Washington is not a rookie. Even if Evans is worse, if Shanny wants him to have a fake good season, then he will. He's got to be on the field though, brother. Got to be on the field. I think one of the questions we're going to be asking in 2 months is why were we letting Godwin and Debo go so late? What is the Rardon hype? Sounds like the Patriots are going to play a lot of 12 and that Rardon has rested with the starters in their second preseason game. Feels like Rardon is a pretty good value in 20-round drafts like this. You know, you probably don't want to start Rardon in your home league, but yeah, man. I just like we'll take Calvin Ridley because I have Boston in this one. I was about to take Jerry Jeudy, but we can save ourselves that shame. Noah Gray, not interesting to me, but interesting to my guy Travis. I'm surprised T-Ferg hasn't surpassed the Hunter Henry, Juwan Johnson, Strange, Conquo tier. I'm surprised as well. If Chris Bell's healthy, he's a steal, stud at Louisville. Yeah, I mean, he could have potentially been a first-round pick had he not torn his ACL. And it sounds like he is healthy. Dude, I was just before we went on here, I was like just looking at the Swolecast Survivor contest, and I was like, wow, holy shit. Raiders Dolphins is going to be the biggest Survivor sweat of all time. Because the Raiders will be favored in that game. But man, it's the Raiders, dude. It's the freaking Raiders. What are we gonna do? Do you really trust Kirk Cousins? And what if Jeanty's not playing? So then you got Mike Washington, so you don't even feel that good about the running game. I mean, I'm sure I've taken T. Ferguson and Parkinson together. I wonder how many overall Colby Parkinson teams I have. When is Jinxie coming on the channel? People are asking it more and more. Is Daniel Bellinger on the Titans draftable? I probably wouldn't take Daniel Bellinger, but if you want to, you could. I would rather take one of the more like fun, like upside style guys. Kirk Cousins is not a good quarterback. Kirk is really bad. Way, way below average quarterback. Kirk Cousins used to be a pretty good quarterback back in the day, but no longer has the really. I mean, it's just so hard for these guys when they like actually can't move anymore. Kirk Cousins last year in the National Football League in terms of adjusted EPA per play was 28th in the NFL. Sounds about right to me. All right. And then do I even take a third quarterback? Well, maybe we put our wrist up on this team. I think we are. I think we will put our wrist up on this team. And we can do another wide receiver. We can do, hey, we were just talking about Bateman. You know what? Let's live a little, dude. I'm going to take Tyreek, man. I'm going to take Tyreek. It's just a fun click, Tyreek Hill. I don't think Jinxie plays best ball. No. Be real fun if he did. Michael Mayer or Raridan in around 20. I would probably be Raridan, but I understand why you would want to do Mayer. I feel like the touchdown upside is higher for Raridan personally. Just my opinion. Better stash, Marshawn Lloyd or Chris Rodriguez. Stash would be Lloyd, but if you had to start someone week 1, it would probably be C-Rod. I would have Lloyd ranked higher. Personally. Damn, I can't even put my wrist up. Shadur went. Damn. Oh, I don't even need to. I thought I only had 2 quarterbacks. I have 3. And now we can take Katron. We can fully lock in the Commander stuff. Jaden Daniels, James Cook, Amarian Hampton, Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin, Marvin Harrison Jr., Juwan Johnson, Jeremiah Love, Stephon Diggs, JCM, Xavier Worthy, Mike Washington Jr., Denzel Boston, Jacoby Brissett, Kenyon Sadiq, Geno Smith, Charlie Collar, Calvin Ridley, Tyreek Hill, Katron Allen. Pretty good team. Yes, all of my content is up on flockfantasy.com. Season pass is $34 if you want redraft stuff. Code Davis gets you in the door there. The annual Mother Flocker is $99 or $97, and then if you want the best ball tools, it's $147 with all of the preceding stuff. All right, I'm gonna hop into another best ball Millie maker, and I'm also going to go get a Powerade Zero, and I will be back in 2 seconds. I should have played the KLS clip. All right, here we go. We are back in. Oh, and we get gifted an Influencer 101. Where do you find best ball on the DraftKings app? You go on your phone and you go to the DFS side and you click NFL and you click best ball. Do you fear your dart throws at tight end are going to be the thing that sinks you this year? That just really wouldn't be how it would work. I like taking a 0 in round 20 is the expectation. If you look at the players around the tight ends, they are very unlikely to matter. I don't know. You go look at round 18, round 19, round 20 ADP in a year. Most overpriced quarterback in your opinion? Honestly, I think the market's pretty efficient at quarterback. I think it will hurt advancement. How explain that? How would it possibly hurt advancement? Oh shit, champ! I already closed it out. Mental note. I owe you one. Okay. It was too late, but I will. Mental note. I owe champ a sauce. I've gone back and watched drafts from last year, and there were so many picks that were terrible picks. Who do you think is likely to be the pick that we look at as clearly bad next year? I mean, DJ Moore, Isaiah Likely, David Montgomery. David Montgomery is the classic one because it's one spotlight QB. Points is points. Kalar Ferg have yet to do anything, and high exposure is scary. I think maybe you're not understanding the relationship between average draft position and points. If you have Charlie Kalar as your only tight end on a roster, yeah, you might not make any money. Yeah, Baker is kind of slept on because he played injured last year. Parker Washington, low-key. That's like my answer from like 6 weeks ago. I was so certain that he was a bad pick, but I think I was probably wrong. Mike Evans. Yeah, Mike Evans is a pretty good one. I can definitely see Mike Evans just being like brutal. Mike Evans can't get through a freaking practice, brother. I am concerned. I am very concerned about Mike Evans' ability to just not get through a practice. What player do you have too high of an exposure of? Eli Stowers. Eli Stowers and Gadsden. I mean, my God, dude. Just brutal. Stowers. 340 Stowers teams. Yeah, 340 stone-ass zeros from Eli Stowers. What is my Bowers exposure? I have 311 Bowers teams for $3,559. 13.3% of my teams have Brock Bowers on them. Are we straight up sleeping on KLS this year? Honestly, I wish we were, but no, we're not, because I think Brennan Thompson can probably just do the same thing that he does, sadly. Rashee Rice could definitely be one of them. Jamison Williams will end up being the best pick in best ball this year. I think that could certainly be true. Relative to cost, I still prefer Bowers over McBride. I think Bowers is special player. Not that McBride isn't special. Do I think that Deebo Samuel does better or worse than last season fantasy points wise? I mean, probably marginally better just because he's on a much better team, although he has much greater target competition. I think if you're a big Deebo guy, and I was buying Deebo a ton before his average draft position rose, which would be, he's the running back too. Well, I mean, Xavier Worthy is either a 4 or 5 turn pick, or Xavier Worthy is going to be a undraftable. He's doing the Bateman, right? Do you ever get different at this turn pick with Gibbs? There's no value in getting different in these contests. There's no replacement for points. Every study ever done on this best ball stuff says the reachers have an advance rate as worse than average. There's absolutely no value in doing so. Still waiting for Davis to acknowledge Taiwan as its own country. Yeah, dude, I'm in the pocket of Big China. All right, we're gonna do Olave, and we're gonna do. You know what we'll do here? We were just talking about McBride, Gibbs, Olave, McBride. The old 1-1-1 start. It's easy to take T. Ferg in the 14th and hundreds of drafts on site credit. It's true. What round do you not care about reaching? Yeah, like round 13 or whatever. No, I'm very much not on the side of Liam in the rare combos. I don't care about. I really don't care about that at all. There's no value. If your combination, like the amount of whittling down of the field by the time you get to the final is insane. And as you point out, you are going to get much better and much rarer combinations by getting ADP fallers. I'm drinking the Cyrus Allen Kool-Aid, and I didn't like him as a prospect. I don't know if I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I do think he's definitely going to have a role. He is for sure going to have a chance to play. There's enough smoke where the fire is on him that I think you can't have. I don't think you can have none. I don't think a straight up full fade at this point is super fun. If I had to pick two between Neighbors, Olave, Pickens, and Collins, it would be Neighbors and Pickens for me. The 37th year of my home league draft. I'm a wings guy. Man, the wings sound really good. I finally have got my diet back in order from going on the vacation to Yellowstone and then going to the Flock House for a week. So I'm just hungry all the time. You know, eating freaking chicken and rice. Actually, I didn't even have rice today. I had chicken and sweet potato for lunch. And so the concept of eating chicken wings right now sounds so good. Who is the Jonathan Taylor of this season? Nuke for 10 weeks and then dies. That's a hard one. I wonder if it's maybe like a Steeler. Like Aaron Rodgers is just not able, like his body like literally can't do it anymore. Think that is potentially possible. What's a good trade down redraft trade? I mean, it's not a specific enough question, brother. Also kind of hard to engineer trade downs and redraft without keeping stuff, without like keepers. Rice or Ladd as a keeper and managed, assuming no associated cost differences, I would be Rice. Though I bet everyone in chat and I bet everyone who watches this on replay would say they would rather have Ladd McConkey. A nice ice cold canned yellow Gatorade. I do have canned Gatorades out in the garage fridge, but we're powering through on Powerade Zero right now. And that's okay, bro. Powerade Zero actually is quite good. I mean, it doesn't hit the same as a canned Gatorade, but it's still pretty good. That's always Jacobs. Jacobs is still on the board. I mean, I'm smashing the button on Josh Jacobs if he gets to me here. Absolutely canning it on Josh Jacobs if he gets to me. Yeah, there you go. He won't. I'm not that worried about the Jacobs suspension stuff because I think it's like fully priced in fantasy football at this point. Like Jacobs after Swift. Jacobs has been like a 16 points per game guy for like 3 years. Keep Hampton for a 4th or Tet for an 8th. My advice for these questions is just to always keep the best player, which in your case would be Hampton. So it would be Hampton for a 4th. Man, I think we're about to do a fun turn here. I'm going to try and take JMO and P-Wash. If the room will let me. We're going to do a true hero running back team. JMO, P-Wash, Jahmyr Gibbs, Chris Olave, Jameson Williams, Parker Washington, Trey McBride. Jahmyr Gibbs better put that superhero logo on his chest. JT of the season might be Tucker Kraft. Yeah, I mean, I think it has to be explained by injuries. Makai Lemon, he is very cheap on DraftKings. Very, very cheap on DraftKings. I mean, yeah, I think Ayuk is definitely droppable in fantasy. When is this dude going to play for your team? When are you going to have a chance to use Brandon Ayuk's score? He's not on a team, not going to play this year. Oh, it's true. Jacobs does always start good and then dies off at the end. That's actually very true. That's like, because he's like the most injured man alive. He always pops up as questionable. Yeah, last year, 14, 14, 12, 31, 32, 18, 13, 20, 19, injured. Does pop back up after the ankle injury, then gets worse again. 2024, a little bit more stable in 2024, but yeah, you are right. That is a big Josh. You're very right. Where am I at on Tate? I just don't see it. Maybe a few spike weeks. Dude, he has been falling in I do these high stakes redraft leagues on the FFPC, and no one wants him. No one wants any of the Tennessee Titans. And frankly, I mean, I don't think you can be mad about it. The Tennessee Titans are terrible. How am I feeling about Keaton Mitchell? Well, I don't love that Mike McDaniel said he suffered a setback. I can't even tell what his specific injury is, but I also know we are about to head into a 2-week period wherein we get no reporting at all because the beat writers are not there. There's no practices or anything for the beat writers to talk about. So we are about to go dark. We're about to know nothing about what's happening with these guys' rehabs, with their injuries, none of these things. So I really hate that. I mean, it just makes my job harder. I mean, hopefully we'll get some stuff laid out. It is true that Mike McDaniel compared Hampton, or one of the beat writers compared Hampton to Terrell Davis, I think. Heard Tate was cooking today versus the Bears. Well, if you can't cook versus the Bears' bad defensive backs, then probably nothing is going to happen for you. No, the setback is that Keaton is banged up. To me, it is unclear how banged up he is. It's unclear what I don't think I've seen any specific. I don't think I've seen any specific update on what it is. Oh, there you go. It was McDaniel on Chris Sims's podcast. Shout out to Payday for YouTube. I mean, Amari Hampton's a good player. Like, I am not going to be surprised if Amari Hampton has a very good season. I think they can both. I mean, I will be doing jumping jacks if this guy does not snipe me on Trevion Henderson. He's going to. I'm not going to be able to get him. Dude, Trevion Henderson at the 6-7 turn is crazy. Jahmyr Gibbs, Trevion Henderson, Chris Olave, Jameson Williams, P. Wash, Trey McBride, Jonathan Brooks. There. Okay. I got to lock in. I cannot drop the baby on this team. Terrell Davis comp. Near and true to his heart. Yeah, because he grew up in Denver, right? That's the deal. I think I just drafted Hampton on the last team. It's not like I am not anti Amari and Hampton. I think Amari and Hampton is completely fine. It would be pretty weird to me if the Chargers decided they needed to take Hampton off the field for Vidal and Mitchell too much. Yeah, I mean, what you are looking for is an auxiliary role, right? That is what Keaton offers you, is an auxiliary role. I mean, the obvious comparison is the 2023 Miami Dolphins. I don't think they're going to be that good. I would be surprised if they were that good. They don't have Tyreek. They don't even really have a Waddle. You know, I don't think Ladd is as good as Jalen Waddle. Watch the FFPC draft. Why don't you have the same concerns about London that you do about Nico? I mean, I guess honestly, really, it's just an ADP thing for me. But I don't do cartwheels to take London in general, like at ADP. I guess maybe honestly, the answer is that I'm probably just too much of a. I am probably too much of a an ADP guy. So I guess that's why I got excited about Drake London. I am worried about the Dolphins, though. 2023 Dolphins would be nice for me since I have a lot of Hampton and Mitchell. I mean, we know the McShanny run game is always good. Like that, like the kind of the misnomer about these West Coast offenses that these McShanny tree coaches run is that we think about them as passing based offense is high scoring, but it's all based around the run, right? It's all based around the run. How do I find the Swolecast Survivor League? Go to splashsports.com and look for any of these survivors here. I'll just link it for you though. Details, share contest here. If any of you guys want to hop in the same survivor that I am in for the Swolecast, there you go. But if you just go search for a $25 survivor, it's right there. Every time you say you can't drop the baby, the wind blows and the cradle falls. We got to fix it right here. Because this one is a shipper. Full PPR pick 2, Bowers, Collins, London. I mean, I'd be Bowers in London. It's very close though. Yeah, losing the center already is tough. Classic. I mean, it's classic Chargers, right? Isn't that always what happens? The Chargers win every offseason and then never end up making any money. Bit of a bummer. All right. 3-3-1, no quarterback. Herbert is kind of fun here, uncorrelated, because I guess what? I guess I need Goff as the issue, though. Got to have Goff. Do I want to Stribling about Stribling here? Actually, I'm going to take JCM, I think. JCM or Stribling. JCM or Stribling. Maybe because I won't be able to get Lawrence. I will be able to get Shuck. The running back tier ends pretty quickly. Mace, yeah, good. The running back tier goes to absolute 0. I'm going to take JCM. Jared Goff, Gibbs, Hendo, Olave, J-Mo, P-Wash, Trey McBride, Jonathan Brooks, JCM. I think that was the right call because the running back is dead now, basically. Kalar pick would ruin this team. I'm going to tell Sacrilegious you said that. When Mitchell takes a random screen pass 78 yards for a TD, then there's no turning back. I think that if the version of the Chargers offense that exists, like in our imaginations, in our mind palaces, if that team happens, you're going to want both of them. I mean, I think people forget the 2023 Dolphins were insane, dude. And again, I don't think the Chargers even have to be this good, but you had 1,800 scrimmage yards for Tyreek, 1,100 scrimmage yards for Mostert with 21 touchdowns, 1,000 scrimmage yards for Waddle and 4 touchdowns, 997 scrimmage yards and 11 touchdowns for Achane in only 11 games. And then that was it. And then you had a bunch of jabronis with no points. You know, that's just how she goes. What do I think about Malik Benson, Raiders wide receiver, come up? He's fine. I didn't like that Clint Kubiak said our wide receiver room sucks. What did he say? We have to get better fast. That's not a positive review of anyone involved. It's not positive for Naylor. It's not positive for Benson. I will be 0% surprised when Hampton is the 1.6. The thing is that I think Hampton can be the 1.6 while Keaton Mitchell also has like 4 really good spike weeks. Why can those things not coincide? I think they can. Because Keaton is such a good player. One of my favorite fantasy football analysts said he was the best running back in the NFL. I don't think that Casey Concepcion will be a 2nd round pick in redraft next year. I think he could be like a 5th round pick in redraft. I don't know who is the Browns quarterback next year. You tell me. You tell me who the Browns quarterback is. Is it Arch Manning? Is it Dante Moore? CMC or Chase at the 3 hole? I would be Chase. Who is Shady Advice? Is he the 1st or 2nd best DFS player in the world these days? I guess maybe I'm not in the streets as much. 2nd best DFS player in the world. Utica is 1st. Shady is 2nd. Who is drafting a lot of best ball teams using a tool that he built. Mac Jones. If it's Mac Jones, I could see it. Sure. I am anti-Dante Moore. He didn't have it for me. I started watching all the quarterbacks last year, and Dante Moore was the first one where I was like, how is this supposed to work, dude? I mean, the Browns drafting Dante Moore, it can't be any worse than the other shit they forced you to watch, brother. You are about to watch a team that has Dylan Gabriel, Shadur Sanders, Deshaun Watson, and Taylon Green as their quarterbacks. It's not going to be – Dante Moore isn't going to be any worse than that. That much I can promise you. All right. We are up in 2 – I mean, I am absolutely cartwheeling, slam dunking Brock Purdy, and there's no way I'm going to get him. One of these guys is for sure going to take Brock Purdy. What value are you putting on Mac Jones in a Superflex Dynasty League? I mean, he's probably in this class. You could probably trade a 3rd for him and feel fine about it. I mean, it's just kind of tough. All right, well, we'll do Shuck, and then we will do Concepcion. We are okay. I am not dropping the baby. Goff, Gibbs, Hendo, Olave, J-Mo, P-Wash, Trey McBride, Jonathan Brooks, JCM, Tyler Shuck, KC Concepcion. Baby has not been dropped yet. The baby is still hanging out, sleeping, having a good nap. We're feeling really good. How many? So I've done 3 today, so I think I only have 15 DK Millie drafts left. I'm going to attempt to be done with them today. That is the idea, that we can be done, or not today, that this week. Do I think Richardson gets traded? I mean, maybe. To who? Because he makes like a fair amount of money because he was a top 5 pick. So he's not even making backup quarterback money. Anthony Richardson Spotrac. Actually, no, it's not that bad. 10 million. 10 million is backup quarterback money. I mean, I would trade for him if I managed a team. If I was the Chiefs, I would trade for him. If I was the Cowboys, I would trade for him. If I was the Tell you what, if I was the Rams, I would have rather traded a 5th-round pick for Anthony Richardson than spent a 1st-round pick on Ty Simpson. That much is for sure. Anthony Richardson would be a great backup for Quinn Ewers. Are there any fun running back free agents aside from Kareem Hunt that the Lions can pick up? Well, Najee Harris just signed for the Giants, and I think that's about it. Because Eckler was telling people all last weekend he's not playing. So you've got Antonio Gibson is out there. You've got so Mixon's retired, Eckler's retired, Chubb is retired. Mostert is 34. Miles Sanders just got a DUI last night. Madison is cooked. Like, I think the absolute best you could do was probably I think no. What you're hoping for is someone who gets waived now. Yeah, what is Orleans Darkwa up to these days? Imagine how many fantasy points Rams Anthony Richardson would score. Probably not as much as you'd think. Is Le'Veon Bell not officially retired? He's got to be. Anthony Richardson has got to be the only NFL quarterback to have injured himself with an exercise band. That's probably real. I don't know. I mean, okay, what running backs are going to get cut? That's like a more interesting question. The Patriots won't have anyone. The Bills won't have anyone. Maybe Ollie Gordon gets cut and then can be signed by someone. The Jets don't have anyone. Maybe Jamari Taylor gets cut from the Jags and picks up somewhere. Maybe Jawar Jordan gets cut from the Texans and picks him up somewhere. I wonder if DJ Giddens might get cut by the Colts. Ray Davis or Malik Davis as a bench stash. Give me Ray Davis just slightly. I don't think Jaden Blue is going to get cut. I think they're going to send Phil Maffa down to the practice squad. Sean Tucker would be the best one. Yeah, Sean Tucker would be a good one. The Titans don't have anyone to waive. The Steelers are probably going to waive Caleb Johnson. So Caleb Johnson could be signing somewhere. I'm not saying these guys are good. I'm just saying someone might claim these guys. I don't think Jarquez Hunter will get waived. So there was a report this last weekend that Sean Tucker might get cut. Ito Smith, the Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles. Shout out to my guy Ito Smith. I'm not that surprised Trey Benson went unclaimed because his knee is made of jello. There you go. Giddens likely to lose out to Ulysses Bentley. So if that's true, Giddens is. I mean, you really want him to get claimed from someone because I mean, I'm a little biased because Giddens and I both went to Kansas State, but I really thought he could play. Also thought Devin Neal could play, and he's injured now too as well. All right, 2-4-4-1. I mean, Juwan Johnson is neat. Juwan Johnson, Marshawn Lloyd is the smash here if they let me have it. Juwan Johnson, Marshawn Lloyd, we are cruising, dude. A 2-5-4-2. We are absolutely cruising because we only have to take 3 tight ends on this team. It's also that's not even his full name. He's Ulysses Bentley the 6th, I believe. Ulysses Bentley the 6th. Who else might be able to help out? I mean, if Taj Brooks gets waived by the Bengals, that one's possible. No one really on the Broncos. The Chargers don't have anyone to waive. The Chiefs certainly do not have anyone to waive. I mean, maybe they try and send Brashard Smith to the practice squad and he doesn't make it. The Raiders don't have anyone to waive. The Eagles could maybe move on from Shipley, although it seems like he's got a role in the passing downs there. Someone could definitely claim Maffa from the Cowboys. Someone could claim there's a chance Katron doesn't make the opening day roster for the Commanders. I don't think a high chance, but it's him or McNichols for that final roster spot. Falcons don't have anyone to waive. The Panthers, maybe. I mean, AJ Dillon's probably not going anywhere. But Sean Tucker for the Buccaneers. Saints can't afford to waive anyone. Bears don't have anyone worth claiming. Packers don't have anyone worth claiming. The Lions don't have anyone worth claiming. If the Vikings tried to stash Damon Claiborne on the practice squad, I don't actually know exactly how the practice squad rules work these days, because it used to be that you couldn't stash guys and protect them on the practice squad, but now you can. So I actually don't know. I really actually don't know exactly how that works. The Seahawks, no one there. Rams, Jarquez Hunter, maybe. Well, actually, Emmanuel Wilson probably gets cut, and he could maybe help someone out. The 49ers and the Cardinals. I mean, if the Cardinals waive James Conner, obviously. Yeah, Panthers are going to be Brooks, Hubbard, ETN. So it's just a matter of if someone wants to grab Dylan. I think Guerrero is hurt right now. I want to say... actually, I know Guerrendo's hurt right now. Also, according to reports, Guerrero got fat. So, not great to have a fat running back. Saw a team in my home league come up with the Infinity Stones of 3 players, and it fascinated me. James Cook III, Kenneth Walker III, Luther Burden III. You guys know about Luther Burden's dad? Fucking legend. Rate this team. Josh Allen, Gibbs, James Cook, Nico Collins, Tet, likely DJ Moore, Mekhi Lemon. 4.5. All right. I need to double tap wide receiver at this turn, probably. We got 80 Mitchell, Pat Bryant. That would be a pretty nice turn. Please don't snipe me, bro. What if Jordan James is already fat? Is that true? Jordan James can't be fat. He just got hurt. He just hurt his ribs. Jordan James. Is Jordan James fat, bro? Jordan James looks a little. He kind of looks like me, stocky. Are you in the green lifetime playing best ball? Not even fucking close, Derek. Not even fucking close. I'll tell you a little secret that people don't want you to know, which is that if you don't get first place in one of these tournaments, you do not make money. That ain't how she goes. If you had one team, who do you take, Saquon or K9? I would take Kenneth Walker. Unpopular opinion. A 1-sentence summary piece of advice for drafting strategy this year: running back gets shallow quick. Adonai Mitchell, Pat Bryant, Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Trevion Henderson, Chris Olave, Jameson Williams, Parker Washington, Trey McBride, Jonathan Brooks, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Tyler Shuck, Casey Concepcion, Juwan Johnson, Marshawn Lloyd, Adonai Mitchell, and Pat Bryant. A 2-5-6-2. That's true. If you do get second in a tournament that has 650,000 entrants, then you can indeed make money. I just think the best example of this last year was that I finished like 100th whatever in the big board, which is 250,000 people, and I lost money on the tournament. When do we get our late camp news on Xavier Thomas? Well, the issue is for him is he got banged up a little bit, and so that allowed Khalif Raymond to really lock in to that wide receiver role for the wide receiver 3 job. And it also kept him from practicing at running back, which seems to be a bit of an issue. I mean, Ben Johnson had Khalif Raymond in Detroit. I mean, I don't think Khalif Raymond is going to be a big factor, but have the 108 for my big money redraft, and I can't see myself being able to pass on Neighbors in the second. I have no issue with that at all. I finished 31st in the DK Millie. The year it had 1.2 million entrants and has paid for best ball ever since. Eggo Waffles expects me to finally break through the door this year and take down one of my contests. Not even close to true. That could be about so many things from this stream, brother. Not even close to true. The Davis Mattek stat line. Does this website have bigger team capacities? I don't know what you mean. The average person finished top 10 in most contests. They make money. Yeah, I mean, yes, an average person could, not someone who has $22,000 in entries. I have 2,400 teams drafted. There are contests in best ball that I could get first place in and still be down on the year because I've done so many entries. Sure, if you do one entry in the puppy and you finish 14th, you 100x your buy-in. You had the year of your life. All right. I need to, what do I guess, do I want Jacoby Brissett on this team? Okay, well, never mind. He's not even available. Yeah, I guess actually technically I'm up infinite. I'm up infinite money because my entry fees are paid for by the sites themselves. I've been doing best ball for 5 years and I don't think I have 2,400 entries over that whole span. Well, you are a happier guy than I am. That's for sure. Is it even worth taking? Yeah, I'm not taking a third quarterback. No tight end here. I really want. I'm probably just going to keep stacking receivers. What's my expected ROI for best ball and fantasy each year? Well, how do you calculate the expectation? Are you talking about my mental expectation or what the average value of what my entries would be worth based on? If you assume I'm an average, below average, I'm going to take Omar Cooper Jr. And I'm going to take, is Kalen Black available? He's definitely not going to be. Kalen Black's not available. We're going to take Kamani Vidal. So my full-time job is to do fantasy football content on the internet. And because my channel has 13,000 subscribers and thousands of people watch, and I have millions of dollars or millions of watch hours per year, companies pay me to draft on their website. Am I doing any of the high stakes drafts this year? I'll probably do a couple of RT Sports ones. Yeah, Brad. Even with someone as much value as you can definitely probably without me coming close to taking down the contest, though. Again, not really. Yeah, I don't. Sorry. I certainly do not have millions of dollars. That much is true. Yeah, I do not have Avery money. Unpopular truth serum opinion. Saquon and Neighbors are the two most mispriced, undervalued guys in the first 4 rounds. I think that's probably close to popular. I believe Liam and I are going to do a high stakes draft. 20K in site credits. Honestly, the 20K in site credits is a very good deal for the person sponsoring me, not me. What other companies pay me to feature their products, Underdog gets a significant discount on. 1v1, are you taking Jonathan Brooks or Jalen Warren in a vacuum? I am taking Jonathan Brooks. Most people think that about Neighbors. Yeah, Neighbors is just, to me, I think Neighbors is just a very, very good pick. All right, we got 3 picks left. Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Trevion Henderson, Chris Olave, Jameson Williams, Parker Washington, Trey McBride, Brooks, JCM, Shuck. Am I good on bye weeks there? Yes, I am. Concepcion, Juwan Johnson, Marshawn Lloyd, Adonai Mitchell, Pat Bryant, Omar Cooper Jr., Kamani Vidal. I actually think I am going to take a third quarterback on this team. I think the upside with Jonathan Brooks is very good. Now, the median outcome for the Panthers are not great, right? Median outcome for the Panthers stuff. Panthers could be really bad. I actually have not checked this in a while. What do we think the quant has for Jonathan Brooks? I have not checked this, and I'm going to guess he's probably pretty low on him. My quant has Jonathan Brooks as actually not that bad of a pick. Has him leading the Panthers backfield in yards tied. They each have 5 touchdowns. That's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I guess where's the line of where winnings redetermine if it's a good or bad year? Like I said, dude, it's just if you're not literally winning, which is so hard to do, it's just not going to be a good fiscal year. It's just too hard. Like if you enter in a bunch of DraftKings Millie makers on the weekend and you don't have a top 10, you're not going to have a good time. And sometimes that's just the way she goes. That's baseball, folks. All right, I'm gonna put my wrist up on this team. I'm gonna take Shadur, and then I'm gonna take. I have Trey McBride and I have Juwan. I'm gonna wait at tight end, and I'm gonna do. Well, actually, all these guys suck, so I'm just gonna take Kalar, and then we'll take some random wide receiver at the final pick. Okay, sorry. How about this? Instead of first, you can get top 0.1%. How about that? I finished 8th and I profited on the year. If you finish top 10, you can have a good year. Do I believe in the first overall pick being a bust every year? I do not. No. Sean Tucker cut could be exciting, yeah, depending on where he landed. Although it's not that exciting if the team if he gets claimed by the Lions, but the Lions also signed Kareem Hunt, it's not that exciting. What if Taj Brooks gets cut and picked up? He was so good in college. He was so good in college, and he was a workhorse in college. It's kind of one of those interesting things where, like, if I was running the team, there's no way I would be. Samaje Perine is, I think, 33 years old, so I would be wanting Taj Brooks to take a larger part of the offense, but it just seems to not be what the Cincinnati Bengals are about for whatever reason. I don't know why. Wow, Odell Beckham Jr. selected in this draft. There you go, Odell Beckham Jr. Odell Beckham Jr. in 2026. The season finishes in 2027. When's the last time Odell scored a touchdown in a game? I actually don't know the answer to this. Odell last scored a touchdown in 2023 for the Baltimore Ravens. Did not play in 2022. He was unsigned. He was pretty good for the Rams when he was there, actually. The thing about best ball is you can have great, like, theoretical expected value for your rosters. Like, you can have a bunch of sick teams. It's just so insanely variant. Like, if you think about, so compare it to something like poker, where there's a huge skill edge. However, if you are playing large field poker tournaments, you can go through insane downswings, and that is with new cards all the time, like new hands, like new opportunities, new opponents. There has been this is the 7th slate of best ball that we have played. You know, this would be like determining who is good or bad at NFL DFS after 7 weeks of the regular season. Wan'Dale Robinson being evaluated for a concussion. Tough. Alec Pierce says week 1 is the goal via Jake Arthur NFL. But what else? Luther Burden looks comfortable in practice. That's actually quite nice. What percentage do you think skill versus luck? Like, if we say chess is 100% skill, I'd say, like, in fantasy football in general, it's like, I mean, in terms of how the payouts happen, It's an insane amount of luck. You know, it's like, I don't know, 60% luck, 70% luck. Funniest trade ever just dropped. Or did Tutu get traded back to the Rams? There you go. Oh, you know what? Jarquez Hunter to the Dolphins is not nothing. Jarquez Hunter to, you know what? I'm going to be the first one to do it. Jarquez Hunter. Jarquez Hunter freed, brother. All right. Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Trevion Henderson, Chris Olave, Jamison Williams, Parker Washington, Trey McBride, Jonathan Brooks, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Tyler Shuck, Casey Concepcion, Juwan Johnson, Marshawn Lloyd, Adonai Mitchell, Pat Bryant, Omar Cooper Jr., Kamani Vidal, Shadur Sanders, Charlie Collar, and new Miami Dolphin, Jarquez Hunter. Bang. All right, everyone. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Come check me out on the Leg Up channel here in like an hour. And I'll be back with all you guys